Hello, welcome back to the Crafty Organizer. I'm Noreen Burke. If you are new, thanks so much for checking out my channel. And if you're returning, thank you for coming and hanging out with me again. A few weeks ago, I had discussed an app that I use that I love to help me stay organized, and that is Google Keep. So today I'm going to show you how to use it, some easy techniques, but how I use it to help me every single day. Let's get started. I actually use this kind of like a personal assistant. I let it keep all of my notes, keep it categorized for my personal life, my work, anything pertaining to my kids. And in the middle of the night, you know, when you wake up and you can't sleep because your brain is running, I will literally open up my app, start a new note, and there's a nice feature on here where you can just start recording, and I will just talk about the crazy ideas that are in my head. Click out and I have a new note saved. And what I love about it is because it's a Google app, when I wake up in the morning and I go to my computer, it is synced and on my desktop to remind me of the craziness that was in my mind the night before, or to remind me of something I needed to do right away. Now, one of the things that I think is so amazing about this is it's 100% free. And speaking of free, I want to talk about today's sponsor. Word Farm Adventure is a new kind of word puzzle game that's earned a 5-star rating and allows you to play different adventures, go to different locations. If you enjoy word games, you will love Word Farm Adventure. It features things like crossword puzzles, missions, challenges, and they all tie in with a really fun storyline. Playing the word games earns you points to restore, build, and customize your very own farm. It's currently run down, but you get to restore and bring this farm back to life. The more you play, the more points that you earn so that you can customize your farm, your farmhouse, and there's a country fair. There are so many places throughout the property that you get to customize, go on adventures, and play the fun word games. So if you're looking for a really fun game to challenge your brain and relax, Word Farm Adventure is a great game. And did I mention it's free? I'll have the link down in the description below, so make sure you check that out. And now let's get back into how to use Google Keep. So as I mentioned, I love Google Keep because it acts like a personal assistant for me. If I'm out and about in the middle of the day and I think of something for work, I can quickly jot or speak a note, and when I get home, it has synced onto my desktop. Likewise, if I finish a task and I mark it off, when I'm out and about, if I think, oh my gosh, did I XYZ, I can pull it up on my phone and see. As long as you're signed into your Google account, then you are good to go, which leads me to mention the way you access this is you do need to have a Google account. Once you have that, all you do is type in Google Keep on a search bar. The program will pop up, and when you open it, this is what you see. It's a super intuitive program. It's not scary at all. So the first thing you see is this little dialog box that says take a note. So when you click in it, you can actually start typing out things you need to do. Go to the bank, get dog food. Sorry, my typing is loud. Hair stuff, stamps. Now, these I would call errands. So as soon as you finish typing things in, all you have to do to make this an actual note is click anywhere else. Ta-da! Now let's go ahead and create a second one. I'm going to title it Vacation. And I'm going to give just a couple things I know I need to do. Find dates, book a hotel, rent a car, and then once again, as soon as I'm done, click anywhere on the page, and I now have 2 tasks done. Let's do one more. I'm going to say Organizing with Nor, and I want to file. And notice I am not having to click anywhere. When you hit the Enter key on your keyboard, it automatically jumps. If you're going on your phone, you will need to click to the next spot. So I need to file, sort papers, pay bills, and let's go ahead and dust while we're at it. So when I click anywhere on the page, I now have 3 Notes. Think of this like a bulletin board. These are 3 pieces of paper on my bulletin board with just information scribbled on them. Now, looking at this right now, it's a little bit hard to see clearly what's going on. So I personally always like to have check marks. And the way you do that is by coming over here to the More button, and I promise I'm going to go over what all of these icons mean. You'll notice what's on the left here will always mirror what's on the bottom. So once you learn what Remind Me is, it's the same thing as Reminders. But I'm going to come back over here to More, and I'm just going to ask it to show checkboxes. Most everything you'll see is a very simple description and pretty self-explanatory. So now that I have my checkbox on, it is as simple as literally clicking one of those. If I messed up and that's not the one I meant, I can unclick it. This is such an easy program, you guys. But let me show you some of the amazing things in here. In the Remind Me tool, this is one of my favorite ones. In most programs, you can set up a little reminder to go off later today, tomorrow, or sometime on your calendar. But do you see the pick place? This is magical to me. Let's say that I want to go to the store and I can get stamps there, but I might be going to the post office too. I'm not really sure which place I'm going to get them at. So I can say pick a place. I can type in Vons. And because I'm already in Google, it looks at my Google Maps with my location and it gives me the suggestions of which Vons do you want to go to. So I can just simply click it and hit save. Now guess what's going to happen? When I walk into Vons, Google Keep is going to recognize that I'm at this location and it's going to pop up saying, hey Nor, do you still need stamps or did you get to the post office? Do you need the bank kiosk here or did you actually get to the bank? Did you go to PetSmart or do you need dog food? I can set this up and remind myself when I get home to go ahead and put in a reminder to water my plants, make a phone call. When I'm at my doctor's office, I could just type in my doctor. And when I walk into that place, it will remind me to set another appointment or discuss a bill. This Remind Me is great, but the pick a place is truly the powerful part of this. The very next icon next to that is Collaborator, and I'll explain that better with Vacation. Normally you don't go on vacation alone. I have, but when I'm doing this, I'm always working with someone else to pick dates, to make sure the hotel is okay. So by picking a collaborator, you can just share an email and you will both be able to add the items that you need to take care of as well as marking off what you've done, and you'll both get that information. So collaborator is really just allowing to share the information and the tasks. The next button next to it is just change colors, and this is only fun because you can quickly see what you've got going on. Color coding always makes things just honestly so much easier to identify things. It does only have these 12 colors, but I think it's enough to get a better visual when you're looking at this. So we've already covered reminders, which is great. Again, if you're walking into a place, your note will pop up to remind you what to do. You can share your tasks with someone else called Collaborator. You can pick the fun colors to make things a little bit easier to look at. And now we're going to go ahead and add an image. Now, I like adding an image sometimes because sometimes you just want to remember what something was. So, for example, if I knew I was going to be staying at a particular hotel, I might put a picture of that hotel in here. But if I'm shopping or doing something, I could take a picture of a recipe and put it in here to remind me. I use it most often with my business when I'm doing video ideas. Oftentimes I'll be in a store, I'll see an item and I think, ooh, I should make a video about that. I'll take a picture and just attach it to my note. The next button is Archive. So let's say I got to go to the bank, I got the dog food, I got everything I needed. Now I just have this note on my desktop here and there's nothing to do. I have two choices. I can archive it, but there's certain things you just repeatedly need to do. So the next time I need to go to the store for these specific things, I can just unarchive, go right back to my notes, and I can just uncheck them. Now in the example of the vacation, once I take it, I'm pretty well done. So I can come over here to the 3 dots menu. And anytime you see the more, that means there's other options. So go ahead and click on that. And the very first one is delete note. This takes it away. It throws it in the trash can. Now, just like the archive, if I go into archive, I can always grab something and return it. My trash can also holds things, but only for 7 days. After that, it's gone permanently. So if I accidentally deleted something, I could just come right here to restore, or I can permanently delete it if I know I'm never going to touch it. I'm going to restore this one because I have something else to do with that particular note. So now we've covered Remind Me, Collaborator, Colors, adding images, and archiving. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the more options. We just discussed Delete Note, but something I really like is adding a label. And I'm going to come over here to my work page again so that I can show you how helpful this is. You'll see that over here, I have things that say Crafty Organizer. I'm going to go ahead and delete that little label so that you can see how I would add one. These little file label marks mean that these are file systems I've already set up. So when I want to label something, I come to More, I add a label, and let's say I wanted one that was just called Vacation. Now, I don't want this one to say Vacation. I actually want this one to say Crafty Organizer. So I'm going to get rid of the Vacation and just choose that one. Now here's what I love. It drops whatever file I've made over here. So when I'm looking at my notes, I don't want to see everything. Sometimes it's just overwhelming. So I can just click on that category, and here's the things that just pertain to that category. I don't have anything for vacation, but family fun when I want to look at things. Crafty Organizer for just my business things. This really helps simplify what I'm looking at so I don't have a big, messy bulletin board full of notes. The next item after labels is add a drawing. I've never actually understood the purpose of this one, and I've looked it up several times, but if you are the crafty type that has an idea for doing something, you do have the ability to go ahead and freehand a drawing in here or make a note, and it will just be inside of your note, and you'll just see it there. Now, if you want to get rid of it, you just click on it again one time, and you'll see there's a trash can at the bottom. Close, and it's gone. The next one down after add a drawing, make a copy. That one's pretty self-explanatory. It will just pop down to your lower area here, so you can see it. This is great if you've already liked the formatting, you like the color, you don't want to mess with recreating everything. You can just create that copy. Coming down next, hide checkboxes. If you do not want to see those checkboxes, if you'd prefer to just have a simple list, then you can get rid of those. Again, when I get wordy, not having checkboxes makes it harder for me to see what I have going on. So I personally prefer checkboxes. After checkboxes is copy to Google Docs. This one is helpful once again if you have a lot of things typed out. It will actually convert it over into your Google Docs so that you can do more word processor style things. This really is kind of a simplified program. So sending it over to Google Docs would allow you to make changes in it in a Word document type format. Now, you'll notice over here, that was it. It's just these 6 lists. But when I come over to this one, because there's an image here, I have more options. And the option that you have that's extra is grab image text. Now, this is just a picture. It's a picture that I have from Bitmoji. I was able to do a tiny bit of editing to it, but it's just a picture. Think of taking a picture of a recipe, or getting to a hotel and taking a picture of the Wi-Fi information, or instructions for something that you now need to send someone else. By taking a picture and putting it in your notes, and then coming down here and saying grab image text, watch what happens down here. Are you ready? It figured out what the text was in my picture, and it made it into something that I can now edit. This, to me, is incredible. Now, sometimes it gets it a little bit wrong. There's something in here that it seemed to think was a 100, but If you've got some long instructions or a long Wi-Fi password, this truly is an amazing feature. So that was a very quick tutorial. If you have any more questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments below. And if you've discovered something else, let me know. I think this is such a powerful tool. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on it. I want to say thank you so much to today's sponsor, Word Farm Adventures. I really appreciate them sponsoring this video, so be sure to check out that free download for that game below. And if enough people make comments about the game because they enjoy it, who knows? Maybe we could start a little challenge together and play against one another. Thanks also to my patrons who help make these videos possible. They're also helping me get to that dream goal of having that RV so I can start driving around and helping you guys get organized. That's all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in just a couple days. Bye!